There's the mule number 2 alpha with the magnetic triggers. I just put it together. I used the Thin Man Fields non-Pullmore armature with the oil slinger, bronze bushings and shims, and it's doing about 2 volts at 9, a little over 9 amps, 0.9 amps. And if I rip it, it'll pull 4 amps. I'm sorry. And watch the green. It'll pull 4 amps on the pull up. See that? So that never happens. I mean, I'm pushing 5 amps, so that'll not happen. But if I set it at, say, 17, right? Flat out. 1.5. So you see, this one is pulling a few more amps because I think it's got the smaller booster. That's the medium booster. That's the thin. So I think with the thin booster, it requires more amps, but it also seems to respond a little faster. I'm thinking the armature is overpowering the magnets so it can rev faster. I don't know that that's any of use, and we're not drag racing Corvettes here, so it may not be useful. But what I can tell you, at the higher here at 17 and 1.6, it's pulling really good. Got a lot of torque, but it's still going to need a 3 or a 4 amp reverse unit. And that's what Dan and I have been debating the last few days. I think we're going to go ahead and just shift to a 5 amp baseline, and then if you need it, for dual motors, go to an 8 amp. And those will be the 2 flavors. I think we're going to drop the 3 because we find we can bump that 3 pretty readily. So why do that? So when it cools down after it's running, look at that, 0.7 at 2.3. But what I find happens as it sits here, see now it went up to 8, 8.25. I think the fields are getting dirty from brushes, and it's getting a little more resistance, or the oil and grease is getting cooler and thicker as it cools down. The RPMs are less. I don't know how all this adds up, but it seems to me at low speed you're going to take it, but once it warms up it'll run better at medium speed after a bit, it seems to me. At any rate, I'm going to go over, I really want to test the magnets. I thought I had north-south, but I may not. I'm going to go test that right now. I have one Hall effect that's set up for north-south differential. Let's see if we have it. Okay, I'll be back later.